Hi, welcome to the lecture Motivation to Neural Networks. Research on artificial neural networks has been motivated by recognizing that the human brain computes in an entire different manner when it is compared to the conventional digital computer. We know that the human brain is highly complex, nonlinear, and parallel information processing system. Also, the human brain has the capability to organize its structural constituents called neurons so that these neurons perform certain computations faster than the fastest computer which is present today. To be more specific, so the brain routinely accomplishes all the different perceptual recognition tasks approximately in 100 to 200 milliseconds, whereas the tasks of a much lesser complexity which are done by our conventional computers take more amount of time. Let us consider another example of sonar of a bat. We know that sonar is an active echolocation system which provides information about how far the target is from its location. In addition to that, the bat's sonar conveys information about the relative velocity of this target, size of the target, and the size of various other features of this target. So all these complex tasks are done by the brain of a bat, where the size of the the size of the bat's brain is the size of a plum. So the question is, how does a human brain or how does a bat's brain is able to do all these tasks efficiently? It is possible by the fact that brain has a great structure wherein it possesses the ability to build up its own rules through experience. Indeed, experience is built up over time. So if you take a developing neuron, it is synonymous with the plastic brain, where plasticity is nothing but it permits the developing nervous system to adapt to its surrounding or surviving environment so that the brain is going to get the experience. So as plasticity appears to be the effective approach for the functioning of neurons, the same is with neural networks made up of artificial neurons. So generally there are two types of brain plasticity. The type 1 is structural plasticity and type 2 is functional plasticity. Structural plasticity is nothing but, so the brain experiences or memorizes a change in a brain's physical structure. Okay, coming to the functional plasticity, so the brain functions move from a damaged area to undamaged area. So this is how a brain is going to learn with the help of the process of plasticity. So if you see, the neural network is a machine which is designed to model the same way in which our brain is going to perform a given particular task. So a neural network is usually implemented by using an electronic components, or they can be simulated in a software on a digital computer. So for a good performance by the neural network, they generally employ a massive interconnection between all these computing cells which are referred to as neurons. So all these are called as neurons or simply called as processing units, where it is going to take the input. These are all the hidden layers we will be discussing about in the next lectures, and these are all the outputs. So now let's come to what is a neural network. As defined, a neural network is a massive parallel distributed processor which is made up of simple processing units. Let us say if we consider this as a neural network, it is a massive parallel distributed processor, so which is made up of simple processing units, and they have a natural propensity for storing all the experimental knowledge, and they make this experimental knowledge which is available for use later. So the artificial neural networks resembles the brain in two respects. So as our brain learns from our environment, the same way the neural networks also acquire their knowledge from their environment through a process called learning. And also the second resemblance with the brain is the interneuron connection strengths. These are the interneuron connection strengths which are nothing but known as the synaptic weights. So each and every neuron is going to have some weights which are called synaptic weights. So these are used to store this acquired knowledge. So the neurons are going to acquire the knowledge, and these weights are used to acquire that particular knowledge, and by adjusting all these different types of weights, so the neural network is more efficient during each and every different iterations. So here comes an illustration of an artificial neuron where it is having different inputs from x1 so on up to xn, and each input is associated with weight from w1 to so on wn. So this is a single neuron, so where it is having the summation of the inputs and weights here. So you will be getting the output as a sum, and now it is given to the activation function, and from activation function you will be getting an output. So what are inputs, what are weights, so what does this neuron computation consist of, what is an activation function, how does it produce an output, so all this we will be discussing in the next lectures. So this procedure where it is used to perform learning is nothing but a learning algorithm, that is the way through which a particular neural network is going to learn is nothing but a learning algorithm. So as I already mentioned, the function of this learning algorithm is that it will modify the synaptic weights. So these are the synaptic weights. So it will modify the synaptic weights so that it can attain a desired design objective. So first of all, we wanted to get a particular objective out of this network. So in the first iteration, we may not get that particular desired objective. So we may be adjusting the weights and different parameters of this artificial neural network so that our desired design objective has been achieved. And it is also possible for the neural network to modify their own topology. Okay, and the last but not the least thing is that neural networks are also called as neural computers, neurocomputers, connectionist networks, and parallel distributed processors, etc. Here are some benefits of neural networks. That is, the computation power of neural networks is derived through, as we already discussed, massively parallel distributed structure, and they have ability to learn, and after learning they are capable of generalizing the knowledge which they had learned. Okay, so now when we use the neural networks, so we have the following properties. The first one is nonlinearity, second one input output mapping, adaptivity, evidential response, contextual information, fault tolerance, VLSI implementability, uniformity of analysis and design, and neurobiological analogy. So generally artificial neural networks can be linear or nonlinear, but more specifically the nonlinear property of artificial neural networks is very much essential for solving complex problems. As we already learned in the previous lectures, so this particular neural network, coming to the input output mapping, it will be given an input, okay, it is trained, and it will give a particular output. So now we will see the difference between the desired output and the actual output which it has given. Okay, so in different iterations, now this neural network is going to map between this input and output so that the final output is very much near to the desired response which we wanted to get that from the neural network. Coming to adaptivity, neural networks have a built-in capability to adapt their synaptic weights to the changes in the surrounding environments. Coming to evidential response, while talking in the context of pattern classification, neural networks can be designed to provide information not only about which particular pattern to select, but also the confidence in the decision made. So this information can be used to reject the ambiguous patterns, thereby improving the classification performance of the network. Coming to contextual information, knowledge is represented by the structure and activation state of the neural network. Generally, every neuron in the network is potentially affected by the global activity of all the other neurons which are present in this particular network. So the contextual information is dealt naturally by the neural network. Fault tolerance is another important property of provided by this neural network. A neural network generally implemented in hardware form has the potential to be inherently fault tolerant, which means its performance degrades gracefully under adverse conditions. So in principle, the neural network exhibits graceful degradation in performance rather than a catastrophic failure. The massive parallel nature of the neural network makes it potentially fast for the computation of certain tasks. So this feature makes the neural network well suited for implementation using very large scale integrated technology, which is also called as VLSI technology. So coming to neurobiological analogy, the design of neural network is motivated by analogy with the brain, as we have discussed earlier, so which is a living proof that the fault tolerant parallel processing is not only physically possible, but it is also fast and powerful. The neurobiologists look towards the neural networks as a research tool for the interpretation of neurobiological phenomena. So these are all the important properties which are provided by the neural networks. So in this lecture we discussed the motivation to the neural networks, and then how does a human brain or a bat's brain is going to work, and what are the different essential functioning modules of a particular neural network. That is, we also discussed what is a neural network in brief, and the benefits of the neural networks in different areas and the properties provided by the neural networks. So with this we'll end our session. Thank you.